Outline of History by H.G. Wells. Part 1. Introduction. A philosophy of the history of the human race, worthy of its name, must begin with the heavens and descend to the earth, must be charged with the conviction that all existence is one, a single conception sustained from beginning to end upon one identical law. Friedrich Ratzel. This outline of history, of which this is a third edition, freshly revised and rearranged, is an attempt to tell truly and clearly in one continuous narrative the whole story of life and mankind so far as it's known today. It's written plainly for the general reader, but its aim goes beyond its use as merely interesting reading matter. There's a feeling abroad that the teaching of history considered as a part of general education is in an unsatisfactory condition, and particularly that the ordinary treatment of this subject by the class and teacher and examiner is too partial and narrow. But the desire to extend the general range of historical ideas is confronted by the argument that the available time for instruction is already consumed by that partial and narrow treatment, and that therefore, however desirable this extension of range may be, it's in practice impossible. If an Englishman, for example, has found the history of England quite enough for his powers of assimilation, then it seems hopeless to expect his sons and daughters to master universal history, if that's to consist of the history of England, plus the history of France, plus the history of Germany, plus the history of Russia, and so on. To which the only possible answer is that universal history is at once something more and something less than the aggregate of the national histories to which we're accustomed, that it must be approached in a different spirit and dealt with in a different manner. This book seeks to justify that answer. It's been written primarily to show that history as one whole is amenable to a more broad and comprehensive handling than is the history of special nations and periods, a broader handling that will bring it within the normal limitations of time and energy set to the reading and education of an ordinary citizen. This outline deals with ages and races and nations, where the ordinary history deals with reigns and pedigrees and campaigns. But it won't be found to be more crowded with names and dates, nor more difficult to follow and understand.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?